Je me fais strike. Ah, c'est bon, le son est bon. Donc bonsoir. Bonjour YouTube, ou bonsoir YouTube, ça tout dépend. J'avais envie de faire la suite de Chicken Police aujourd'hui, parce que ça fait 3 streams que je lance d'affilée, là, c'est ouf. On va aller à l'asile. L'asile que j'ai vu, que j'ai dans l'épisode précédent, qui était génial. L'ambiance et tout est pour quelque chose. On va voir comment ça va se passer. Et on va faire un bref résumé de ce qui s'est passé.
I wasn't expecting anything good, but this...
Ooh, just like a horror movie.
I was thinking the same.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so.
Alors, faisons un bref résumé de ce qui s'est passé dans Chicken Police. Donc, dans la partie précédente, on a été retrouver Zip, qui était au commissariat, qui s'était rendu lui-même. On a fait un petit interrogatoire avec ce dernier, et on a appris au fait qu'il a planqué un cadavre dans la ruche. On a aussi appris également que IBN, ou Ibn Master, je suis Wessler, comme on a du mal à savoir, il se trouverait qu'il aurait un frère jumeau qui s'appelle Albert. Et ce type, Albert Thaddeus Wessler, est justement dans cet asile. Enfin, il serait dans l'asile. Les spéculations de, de notre enquête actuellement, c'est que le camarade Zip aurait planqué le corps dans la ruche. Et c'est un endroit où le corps, on ne pourrait pas le trouver au fait. Parce que la ruche, c'était un peu... si vous voulez, c'est un endroit où les flics sont mal vus. Et il y a beaucoup de cannibalisme là-bas. Enfin, on mange les gens pour... on mange les gens, littéralement, voilà. Donc là, actuellement, nous sommes dans l'asile. L'ambiance est très particulière. On va voir ce que ça va donner. On va enquêter pour savoir si Albert est ici.
This picture...
It's very...
special? It's special?
Alors là, l'ambiance ici, elle est géniale. Hein.
Even if you manage to escape, there's nothing but hills and forests for 100 miles.
Imagine how many poor lunatic ghosts must haunt those woods.
Ooh, Sonny, you're creeping me out.
Oh là, on change vraiment d'ambiance. On est vraiment dans une ambiance film d'horreur, entre guillemets, là.
Insane ghosts in the woods, Marty.
Sonny, it's not funny.
Je crois que lui, il aime pas trop les films d'horreur, on dirait.
Insane.
Sonny,
We should check in first.
this guy seems strangely familiar to me.
You don't say. You've been treated here too. That would explain a lot.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take a closer look.
No.
Well?
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him? M.B. Davis himself?
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true.
Ah, c'est le mec sur les
The
photos, là.
eternal king of jazz in a
Qu'on voit dans
madhouse.
l'appartement de... de Sonny.
Oh, no. The poor devil.
Oh, merde.
It doesn't matter how big a star you once were. Ending up lonely and crazy in a rotting insane asylum in the middle of nowhere.
Alors, attendez, j'ai le son qui est coupé 2 secondes parce que je vais devoir envoyer un truc à quelqu'un.
Poetic of you, Marty.
Alors, excusez-moi, hein, c'est juste 2 secondes.
Pluck you. Ah, like an angel from heaven, isn't she?
Yeah, half of her's still up there, I think.
That's rude.
Oh, boo-hoo. What do you think? Can she hear us up there?
Sonny, stop being so heightist. It's a different world nowadays, you know?
Yeah, okay. Cry me a river.
I'm forever amazed by what an asshole you are.
What do you think? Yeah.
Of all the great wild ones.
Attendez, excusez-moi. Excusez-moi.
Greetings, miss.
C'est excellent, franchement, ils sont pas super sérieux ce qu'ils ont. Excusez-moi, Reddiff.
Is it really you?
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is you.
Oh, c'est trop
The
bien fait.
chicken police.
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumy, that's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really excited. You know, I've read every book about you and your adventures, and I even collected newspaper articles when I was a little girl.
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
We really...
Oh God, oh God, oh God. Take a deep
Miranda, elle
breath,
s'appelle,
Miranda.
d'accord.
Take a deep breath.
Ça a l'air d'être une grande fan, hein.
Are you okay, miss?
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions,
Putain, elle est
detectives.
trop excitée, hein. On a eu un succès? Oh putain. C'est excellent le délire là, qu'elle cache la tête et tout. Franchement, c'est marrant. Hein.
Sorry, but I still can't believe it's really you.
Neither can we.
You can't imagine how wonderful it is that I can help you in one of your cases. Does this mean it will become a new book? And maybe I will be in it?
Miss, those books aren't really...
Don't even tell me. No, I don't want to know. Let it be a surprise instead.
No, I didn't mean...
Leave it to me, Sonny. I'm good at this. Thank you, miss. Your words are very flattering, and we are honored.
No, I thank you. I'll never forget this day.
We won't either, that's for sure.
We're happy to bring you joy, miss. Anytime.
La musique, elle est
Please,
tellement
I'm at your
glauque.
service.
Thank you, miss.
La musique est tellement malsaine, c'est un truc de fou.
Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into a military hospital. Since then, we're relentlessly working on
Ça doit
treating
être lui le dernier
injured
dans la photo.
minds under the leadership of Dr. Quetzal, the famous specialist.
The place seems
C'est un serpent,
pretty
voilà,
empty.
c'est lui que j'avais vu.
Do many people work here?
We have 32 residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course, the heart and soul of our institution, Dr. Quetzal himself.
Ça fait un peu mexicain, Quetzal. C'est peut-être une référence au dieu, là,
I see.
du serpent plume.
Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Exactly. Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Quite a guy.
He certainly is.
C'est génial. Dr. Sensus. Quetzal,
So who
ouais,
is
voilà.
this
Ça
Dr.
doit être- il
Quetzal
doit avoir un
exactly?
accent. Je suis sûr qu'il va avoir un accent hispanique. Quand on voit le nom.
He's a world-famous researcher of the
Enfin,
mind,
non, c'est Amérique du
Mr.
Sud, mexicain. Ah,
Featherland.
c'est quoi que.
He
Ouais.
published countless books in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy.
Psycho... what?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. McChicken.
That's really good to know.
So this doctor's some celebrity, right? Does he usually meet, other important persons?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, like, Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
He's swamped, is he?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very, very busy. All the time.
I thought so. What can you say about this, miss? Have you, seen anything like it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you come by it? They only wear them inside the institution.
Huh. I see.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents. But I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell you more due to regulations.
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the chicken police.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Miranda, this case is a matter of life and death. Lives are in your hands.
All right. All right.
Ouais, bah, il est mort du
I'll
coup.
do it. Albert Wessler. The patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Oh, we won't. I promise.
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
Thank you. Huh. It doesn't
That was...
pluck you.
We should go to reception first.
Putain, l'ambiance, elle est géniale. Hein. Je suis un peu malsain, mais c'est le genre d'ambiance qui me fait rire. Et il me fout les jetons, hein. Lui, quand on va le voir... Ta-da-dan.
It doesn't matter how big a star you once were. Ending up lonely and crazy in a rotting insane asylum in the middle of nowhere is like the universe restoring its balance.
That was very poetic of you, Marty. Almost deep. Careful you don't drown.
Cluck you.
Insane ghosts in the woods, Marty.
Sonny, it's not funny.
Il doit pas aimer les trucs d'horreur, comme on dit. Hein.
This picture.
Well, it must have been made by one of the patients, so it's understandable.
Celle qui l'a fait?
It's the handiwork of our director.
Ah ouais?
He's not only a scientist, but he's a great painter, too.
I see.
Well, it's lovely to have a hobby, right?
That's right, Marty. Art heals, doesn't it?
Exactly, officers.
Ils ont bien fait
Oh,
la girafe,
exact.
franchement. La girafe, c'est top tier, hein, franchement. Merde, excusez-moi, merde, je me suis trompé. J'ai cliqué trop en bas. Désolé pour le début, parce que il fallait absolument que j'envoie la girafe, parce que la girafe, c'était un truc que j'envoie à mon petit frère. Et là, franchement...
We need to let them know we're here.
Ça, par contre, le tableau, on sait pas quoi. Ça se trouve, c'est le docteur hein, qui a fait ça. Hein.
That was...
Cluck you.
Insane.
Dr. Quetzal will see you. He's waiting for you in his office. Up the stairs, all the way down the hall, until the last door.
What a surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors are open.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
Danger? What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared.
Ah.
We're really, really worried.
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Exactly. Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
Oui.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell.
Putain, il est génial, lui.
Used to be our prey once upon a time.
Oh putain.
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Lucky. Please take a seat.
Putain, il
How
est trop
can I
génial,
help
lui.
you, gentlemen?
Oh, il est top tier, lui. Oh, lui, il est bien, lui. Je l'aime bien. Oh, le personnage est cool.
Your office is rather Puritan. Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes. I can't let my mind wander from my work. I only keep what's essential in my office.
I see. That makes sense.
Oh, il est génial ce mec. Ils ont bien... Ah, il est
Is
bien le
this cell
personnage.
like the others?
I would rather call it a room. But yes, it's like all the others, except there are even bigger ones than this.
Is this cell...
I would...
An isle of reason in a sea of insanity?
Insanity is such a strong word, and it's mostly an abstract idea. Where does insanity start, and how long is one not insane? Interesting questions. Am I normal, or are you? Maybe neither of us.
You see, that's something I think about a lot nowadays.
If you like, I can give you an appointment.
Oh, this is your chance, Sonny. Don't miss it. We're already...
Marty, clock up.
Il est trop bien lui.
Are you very busy?
I am.
Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal too, like all our residents.
With the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient. Am I right?
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
So, escaping is impossible.
If I'd want to escape, I have the privilege of using the door.
So,
If I...
Le perso est trop bien.
Is this cell...
I would...
Ah, dommage qu'il n'y ait pas un autre texte là. Oh la gueule qu'il a. Ah bah tu m'étonnes qu'il fout les jetons et puis il a une façon de parler qui est géniale.
A snake. I can't help it, but they make my feathers stand on end. I have a hard time bearing their proximity. My blood boils and my heart bangs. It's the primordial fear, they say.
Bah ça bouffe les œufs, c'est normal qu'il a peur de lui.
I have a hard...
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Quetzalcoatl, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken, from
the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
we're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
Please be specific, Detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
Oula, attention, fais gaffe à ce que tu dis parce que même s'il est chelou...
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
Eh mais le mec qui le double, il est génial hein. Doubleur top tier là hein. Top tier sur 20 hein. Ah là franchement j'ai trouvé 2 personnages préférés du jeu là. Marty puis le docteur. Et il est génial lui, je l'adore.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service, but you must understand, I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death.
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Je suis en train de me demander si c'est pas le même les deux mêmes doubleurs. Il a les mêmes intonations que Sonny de temps en temps, j'ai l'impression.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
J'ai l'impression que c'est les mêmes. J'ai l'impression que c'est les mêmes doubleurs.
So, what do you want to know, gentlemen?
Let's see.
Il est génial.
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
For quite some time, his first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Oh putain, il est génial. Il est génial. C'est l'acting qui est top, qui est trop bien sur ce personnage. Il est trop bien au niveau de la voix. Le mec qui le double est génial. La gueule elle est un peu particulière, mais il est génial. Il est génial. C'est le même, je suis sûr que c'est le même. Faudrait que je regarde les voix, tout ça, qui c'est qui double les personnages. Parce que les acteurs là-dedans, il y en a, ils sont vraiment géniaux. Hein.
Was he brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
Comment ils font du coup pour financer l'hôpital?
Then how do you sustain
Ah bah voilà ouais,
yourselves?
bah merci Marty, tu m'ôtes les hauts de la bouche.
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Ah moi non plus.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
Ah, il y a un interrogatoire qui va se faire.
What kind of a place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century until
What kind of a place?
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century until finally it went to the crown of Cloville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
Ils ont bien fait le truc. Hein. En français, ça pourrait être un truc marrant aussi à doubler ça. Hein. Mais tu perdrais le charme du jeu, je pense. Le charme, le côté british. Parce qu'il a quand même un accent assez... Il a une espèce d'accent, Sonny. Hein. Ça fait un peu... ouais, je dirais... Enfin, je sais pas trop, mais... Sonny a une espèce d'accent, je trouve.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years.
30 ans.
But it's been in my family's possession for almost 150
150 ans.
years.
Waouh.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance. Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
Bon, on peut l'interroger. On va faire un interrogatoire. On va voir comment on va s'en sortir. Il est chelou, lui. Ouais, carrément. Et lui a disparu. Depuis sa fondation, il n'y a eu qu'une tentative de conquérir Clovis. Cette occupation d'un demi-siècle a commencé en l'an 622 et a duré jusqu'en 677. Pendant cette période, l'Empire Harar s'est emparé de tous les territoires de Clovis à l'exception de ses colonies qui, au final, avec l'aide de Slowazo et Vlak Vloslaya, ont repris le contrôle de Clovis. Ah, puis ça, c'est les interrogatoires qu'on foirait. Celui-là, j'avoue que celui-là, j'ai eu un peu de mal. Timothy, bon, c'était facile, Timothy, en vrai.
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle.
Oh putain.
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible grey ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Of course.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
How did you see Albert when you first met?
Albert was shy and reserved, like a ghost. he almost never touched anything. It was evident he was exceptionally intelligent. He measured and observed everything around him.
What else?
He was delicate and graceful, almost like a woman. Yes. He was rather feminine.
C'est lui qui a fait le tableau.
He was an artist, Mr. Featherland, a magnificent painter, and rather good writer too. Sometimes I even heard him sing.
Le coin qu'on a là de l'affiche ou du tableau, parce que c'est Zip qui nous a dit que c'était un tableau, ça serait lui qui l'a fait. Il y a quelque chose qui cloche du coup. Serait-il responsable? Alors, si c'est bien ce que je pense, est-ce que Albert n'aurait pas inversé ce qui s'est passé avec IBN et Albert? Il y aurait un échange. Ou, encore une fois, on peut spéculer quelque chose avec ce qu'il dit là. Hein. Albert fait de la peinture et il chante. Donc il a vu que c'était un artiste. Alors attention, c'est l'inspecteur foireux Momotech. Blaireau furtif Momotech. Est-ce que Natasha aurait pas fait un truc comme quoi elle aurait assassiné IBN Wessler, ce qui a fait que IBN est mort? Albert l'a su, peut-être via Archibald et Gabriel, ou d'autres personnes, ou voire même Madame Zewas, peut-être même Molly. Il a réussi à s'échapper de l'asile, il a été chopé genre par Archibald ou les autres, et Albert aurait peut-être demandé à Zip de planquer le corps, et c'est peut-être lui qui est responsable des insultes. Les insultes qui sont putain sur les murs, etc. Ben, vous voyez ce que je veux dire. J'ai un doute sur le coup là.
Why did he have to be locked up?
I asked the same thing at first.
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
Wetzel's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details. So Albert could just walk in and out.
Far from it, Mr. Featherland, though Mr. Hobart Wessler had appeared on many occasions and took Albert with him. At those times, he usually brought him back the same day, or the next, at the latest.
What was the purpose of these outings?
Albert Wessler was working on a painting, Mr. Featherland.
Oh, yes, the painting. It's all starting to come together now.
So, you've heard about the painting?
Sure I have. Did Albert tell you how he felt about the painting?
From the first moment he loved it. He was fascinated by it. But who could blame him? A little diversity, fresh air, a beautiful lady, and of course, on top of all that, he could finally do what he loved best. Paint.
Which could be a surprisingly effective therapy.
It could have been. Unfortunately, these excursions have greatly intensified his seizures. They have become
Ça serait
more
peut-être à cause de
frequent
Natasha du
and
coup.
extreme.
so Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting.
Of course.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
More dangerous.
Albert was hurting himself. And on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over
c'est le même
their
doubleur que
shared
Sonny, lui, hein.
mind entirely, piece by piece.
Do you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
But its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean.
Archibald et
And
Gabriel.
Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly, and he was blinded in one eye.
Putain.
Or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened.
Pour avoir la
They
langue
simply
coupée,
told me it was some kind of accident.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused.
Alors attends, s'il a coupé la langue, c'est certainement IBN. Ils ont peut-être inversé, hein.
Maybe it's not easy for you to talk about it, but did you examine his wounds thoroughly?
I'm not that kind of doctor, Mr. Featherland, but even I could determine his tongue was either cut out or bitten off, and his eye was gouged out. He also had several broken bones.
Putain, c'est trash, hein.
But there's no doubt it wasn't an accident.
I don't believe it was, Mr. Featherland.
I totally agree. Concentrate, Doctor. What do you think happened to Albert?
I'm sure it was Hobart. He ordered his men to mutilate poor Albert.
But why would he do that?
Maybe Albert saw something he could accidentally reveal.
To whom? The four walls? A couple of crazies? You?
To anyone, Mr. Featherland.
I don't think it's that simple, Doctor. But thank you for your honest opinion.
You're welcome, Detective.
Cette histoire devient chelou,
What
hein.
happened then? How did Albert disappear?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had to transfer him to another cell, a more safe one.
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative state by
Faut
then.
prendre en compte que c'est des jumeaux, hein.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely
C'est méga louche, hein. Ouais, il y a eu une inversion, hein.
So he couldn't even
C'est
hide.
pas Hobart hein, qui a été dans le tsar, hein. Ça doit être Albert, hein.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's
Ou l'inverse, hein.
horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
Il lui aurait pas coupé la langue, arraché un œil et puis pété les doigts,
How
hein.
did he disappear?
Il a essayé de
in
faire
the
des
end?
signes.
Did someone come for him?
Il y a un truc de louche, hein.
What's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland? He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great help.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
We understand, Doctor. Thank you.
Bien. Ah, génial. Génial.
That's quite shocking information.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand, we'd never let any of our patients walk freely outside our institution.
Then the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Different how?
If someone got one of his eyes poked out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this.
C'est méga louche, hein.
Albert was.
Je pense pas que c'est Albert qui est dans le, qui a été tué, hein.
We believe you, Doctor.
Enfin, je sais pas, hein.
So, can we take a look at Albert's cell?
I'd rather call it his room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional circumstances.
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert certainly enjoyed special
J'ai fait un
favoritism.
monocle.
I hope you don't mind if we take a look around in there.
That's not going to bother anyone.
Well, that's surprising.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't.
It seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
Well, I smell paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and great expectations.
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
I'm on it, Boss Bird.
Ah ouais, il a vraiment une... Oh ouais, bah tu la chambre de privilégié qu'il avait, hein. Ouais, mais moi j'ai un doute. Pour l'instant. Pour moi, j'ai un énorme doute. Je ne pense pas que Albert est mort, c'est plutôt Hobart. Je pense que c'est lui qui est mort.
A small window, a small hope. A small...
No way. Is this some kind of puzzle?
I don't think so. But we could still find something important here. A pattern, a sign, anything.
On va regarder après. Oh putain.
The style. It's very familiar to me.
Ah, on le voit dans le club là.
You've been lonely for far too long, huh?
Not funny, Marty.
It is, a little.
Feu.
So this is an original Albert Wessler.
I think so. It's pretty good, I must say. And I saw something very similar in Natasha's room.
You kept me out of it.
Sorry, little boy. Maybe next time.
Whew, it's hot in here.
Okay, Marty, that's enough.
Ah.
You know, I don't think he had it so bad in here.
You mean apart from being separated from everyone you love in an ancient mansion filled with madmen?
You're right.
As always. Well, I guess the bed has to find a new owner soon.
Are you really so sure he's not alive anymore?
I never said that. Well, I guess... I never said... Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman. 2 men and 1 woman. Nothing good ever comes of that.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Of all the wild ones, Marty, please, stitch up your beak, okay?
Just use your imagination, old bird.
Look at that. A letter. Scribbles, newspaper articles, study papers, poems. Perfect chaos.
Just like the troubled mind of a troubled fella.
Yeah, but there's still a kind of order in it. It's just too intricate for you to comprehend.
If you say so, boss. Isn't this familiar, Sonny? Just like your office and your desk. Taking a better look around, I can find even more similarities.
Marty.
Okay. Shut up, Marty. I know. Isn't this... Okay.
Alors.
Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid he did exactly that. Albert...
Qu'est-ce que ça peut... Alors attendez, on va essayer de traduire. Je sais, je n'existe pas, mais je suis pas ce que vous croyez. Il y a un nom de fille que vous ne savez rien de moi. Jamais, non. Chaque jour, chaque minute, toujours, dans mes rêves, j'étais devenu lui, une seule chose, une seule âme. Vous savez qui je suis? Est-ce que vous savez vraiment qui je suis? Est-ce que vous le sentez? Est-ce que vous le sentez qui je suis? Enfin, excusez-moi de la traduction foireuse. Avec vous, do you feel it right? Je ne peux pas garder ça pour moi trop longtemps. Je ne peux pas garder ça trop longtemps pour moi. Oubliez-moi s'il vous plaît. Je suis désolé. Mais je ne peux pas aider. Ce monde est en train de tomber. Le trou du cul du monde peut-être. Just watching and rotting qui va brûler. Il va juste brûler et brûler. Il va tout brûler. Tout brûler autour de moi. Je dois sortir d'ici. Pour devenir quelqu'un avec une destinée. Je dois devenir l'élu pour accomplir ma destinée peut-être. Et une avec toi ou elle.
Albert was mad.
En gros, ça serait ça.
What do you make of this?
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane? I don't know. What should I?
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all this time, Marty.
What do you mean?
Everything will be revealed soon.
Why do you have to be so melodramatic all of a sudden?
If I'm right, this'll flip the whole case upside down.
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some horrible novel?
I just have to think things through before I come to any hasty conclusions, Marty.
Ugh, you're killing me. So, what now? Where to?
Back to Clawville, where we can finally put all the pieces together.
You're driving me crazy. But all right, let's go home.
So, detectives, have you found what you were looking for?
I'm afraid we have, Doctor. And more.
I wouldn't dare to say I'm happy to hear it, but I'm glad to be of service to you.
Well, thanks, Doc.
I hope I don't offend you by saying I hope we're not going to meet anytime soon.
Not on account of either of our jobs, am I right?
Exactly.
Il est génial.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Goodbye, detectives.
I have a hard time. What can you tell us about the woman in the photo we saw in Albert's room?
Do you mean Miss Natasha Katsenko? Well, yes. I don't know much about her, but everyone heard her name and her voice around
Il est déjà
here.
passé ici.
Did she ever visit this place?
Bah oui.
Never. But if you ask me, Natasha probably didn't even know Albert was a resident of our institution.
And Albert, did he mention her often?
Constantly. It was obvious he had an affection for Miss Katsenko, but I wouldn't have thought for a moment he could escape because of her.
Ah, alors ici, c'était elle qui avait foutu la merde et puis Ben, il voulait la tuer pour se venger.
I wouldn't jump ahead, Doctor.
Il a
Something
découvert,
else
il a
could be
découvert son
behind
corps
Albert's
apparemment. Non,
disappearance.
ça c'est bizarre.
Do you think so? All the signs clearly indicate this.
Maybe they do, Doctor, but in my line of work, logic's not always the best advisor.
In 99% of cases.
Exactly. But this one typically belongs to the remaining 1%.
If you say so.
Ah. Il y a un symbole qui s'affiche, il y a le compteur Steam, il y a des moments...
Farewell, Miranda, dear. Lovely to meet you.
So, you'll remember my name?
Marty McChicken never forgets, ma'am.
Oh,
Furry gods. Let's go. Goodbye, miss. It was a pleasure.
goodbye, gentlemen, and happy investigating.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
If there's anything I can help you with, please just ask.
Thank you, Miranda. You've already helped enough. Huh. It doesn't...
That luck.
Please, I'm at your...
Thank you, miss.
What do you think? Can she hear?
Donc il faut qu'on aille à l'hôtel.
Oh, I don't believe this. Those two again?
Take him out. My car won't last much longer.
Don't worry, Sonny. I was born to do this.
Are you blind or what? Where did you learn to shoot?
Je vise les pneus. Ils ont tenté de nous recourser.
Well, that was close. Oh, come on, what did you work out? Will you tell me already?
Attends, il s'est passé quoi là?
Whew. A little too close for my taste, and it only strengthens my belief. Wessler is desperate. He knows if we survive, he's done for.
Oh, come on, what did you work out? Will you tell me already?
Sure. Let's put the picture together, piece by piece. Let's start from the beginning. So, we got a case.
Pas ça. C'est pas ça, non. Le dernier du coup. C'est chelou là.
Natasha tried to show us the painting.
J'ai cliqué dessus, c'est pas bon, il y a un bug avec ça. Hein.
And that painting would have shown us the way. To Ibn and Albert Wessler. Albert painted Natasha, so he met her on more than one occasion. Which made Albert
Ça, ce serait fortement plausible. Hein.
fall in love with Natasha. And on a fateful night, he killed his brother so he could take his place in secret and win Natasha's heart.
So what happens now?
The inevitable, Marty. We're going to the Wessler mansion to confront Ibn with the facts.
You mean Albert, right?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Natasha.
Do you think she knew about it?
Ouais.
Something stinks, Marty. The whole case seems too intricate.
Too many coincidences, right?
Well, well, after 10 years, you did learn something, didn't you?
9.
You're right.
Huh.
What?
You just laughed, Sonny.
What? No, I snorted.
No, you laughed.
Ah, just leave it, Marty.
I'll be telling this to my grandchicks.
All right, pal, that's enough.
Okay, okay. So, Albert fell madly in love with Natasha and decided to have her for himself.
And his best chance was to trade places
Voilà,
with
c'est ce
Ibn
que je
Wessler.
disais. C'est ce que j'ai dit. Il a changé de
So
place.
that's why the
Bah
torn
oui.
out tongue.
Là, pour le
Yeah,
coup, c'était
Ibn
prévisible.
couldn't squeal even if he wanted to.
C'était ça la lettre.
What a diabolical plan.
More like insane.
But why the messages then? Why the threats? Albert got what he wanted. He could have got away with it.
I'm not a psychologist, Marty, But remember what the doctor told us. Albert has a seriously injured mind and a split personality. I think his two identities were at war with each other.
So the messages were written by one of his personalities, consumed by jealousy?
Split.
Something like that, Marty. But we can only learn the whole truth from him.
You're right. So, are we going or what?
We're going, Marty, to finally finish what we started.
Well, if there's anything you'd like to do before, do it now, boss. You won't have a chance later.
You're right, Marty. It's time to wrap everything up.
On approcherait de la fin du coup.
I see we're ready.
You'll need a shotgun for this kind of deal, Marty. Maybe even that won't be enough.
Nothing to fear while Bertha's here. Even less because you're here
Oui, c'est
too
vrai,
with
son flingue
Mr.
s'appelle Monsieur
Sinclair, of
Sinclair.
course.
Should I cry?
That would be nice for a change. It's a little outdated, but I understand why you're so attached to it.
It can pierce the skin of a rhino, Marty, and the rust brings back memories. I'm a man of bad habits.
You know, sometimes I feel like I'm one of your bad habits.
Rest assured, Marty, you are.
It's a little outdated, you know.
Rest assured.
If we survive this, can we crack this open?
I'd rather keep it for a really special occasion.
You're saying I'm not special enough?
I was joking. If we survive this, we'll drink it to the last drop.
Now you're talking. You think you'll need your fake badge?
I never needed a badge, Marty.
What a punchline.
It's more like a kind of good luck charm. It reminds me of who I should be.
And? Does it work?
No, Marty, not really.
Do you think that'll be enough?
Enough evidence. Not in the slightest. That's why we go unannounced.
And with big guns.
Exactly.
I like this new Sonny.
There is no new Sonny. Just the old ones had enough.
Ah, Her Majesty Bertha II.
My drumstick still hurts every time I see her.
Be glad you're alive. Bertha rarely leaves witnesses. If our theory's correct, this photo will hurt more than a bullet.
That's the plan. Do you remember that case with the goat?
Which one?
When that demented wolf devoured the kids of a young goat mother, and in revenge, she cut open his stomach and filled it with rocks.
Un peu chaperon rouge.
Do I remember? I'll never forget it. Hell, that was a slaughterhouse. As far as I know, she even took the remains of the kids with her.
This was that shop. The goat mother was running it. They found the dead wolf in here.
This? This one exactly? Good gods.
Yeah, before it was closed down, when there was still some life here. Not even that now. Just
Yeah. Spooky place, that's for sure.
still, I love to live here.
Sonny, you're creepy. Eesh, just looking at the window gives me the creeps.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. The shop used to be open for a while, even after the incident. One of the goat's relatives was running it until someone from the dead wolf's family tried to burn it down.
Oh yeah, that's funny. Eesh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I never thought I'd ever look at this place and think of it as home.
Life's weird, isn't it? I didn't think that after what I did to you, we'd work together again.
You mean when you shot me?
You know I had my reasons, Sonny.
Mais je voudrais savoir pourquoi il le tirait dessus, moi.
Yeah. Have I ever, apologized?
I don't think so.
Then let's leave it that way.
Hey, I apologize for shooting you, Boss Bird.
That's okay, Marty. It happens even to the best of friends.
I'll remember what you've just said, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah, Well, don't try to take advantage of it.
Who, me? What do you think of me? Relax, soldier. It'll be fine.
Huh? Well, why do you say that?
You were staring at that building so hard, I thought you could use some encouragement.
Are you shitting me? You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Not at all.
I have feelings too, you know.
I never said otherwise.
Farewell, my lovely.
This fog's almost impenetrable.
Strange, but somehow this time I feel it's a good omen.
Really? How come?
I don't know. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel without the light.
Oh, you're not getting ready to die, are you, old man? If we're going on a suicide mission, I think I should know.
Why, haven't I told you yet?
You're not funny.
The city seems almost clean this time. Silent, mute, not of this world.
Good gods. You're really getting ready to die, aren't you?
I'm just messing with you, Marty. Relax.
Yeah, thanks. Very relaxing.
It hurts even to think about it. But without this feather duster, it wouldn't have worked.
Look, Sonny, I think if we go now, there's no turning back. Not today, at least. So, are you ready?
I'm still thinking about it, Marty.
Look, Sonny, I think...
I'm still I hope he'll be okay. Thanks, buddy.
Là, j'ai pas vu le texte.
Look, Sonny,
I'm still...
I just realized. Ibn at the Tsar Club.
Yes, Marty. Albert's been Ibn for a long time now. Do you
Il
remember
était pas
what
pareil.
Natasha
Ah
said
ouais, à un
about
moment,
him?
elle a dit ça.
That he's been acting strange recently?
Exactly. Like, he's not himself anymore.
It was almost hitting us in the face, huh?
Don't blame yourself, Marty. We couldn't have figured that out just by ourselves. The whole story's too twisted for that.
Well, it's how we make our living, Sonny. And I'm sure we'll have plenty more twisted cases to come.
Who knows, Marty? It's not up to us.
Yeah, right. Do you think the asylum was in on it? I mean, covering up Albert's disappearance?
You know that reptiles give me the creeps. One of them even set fire to that ship. But oddly
c'est vrai,
enough,
c'est vrai.
the doctor seemed honest to me. Yeah.
Ah
Whoever
merde.
fights monsters should...
Do you think the asylum...
You know...
He seemed like a patient to me. Seriously, I thought everyone was crazy in that place.
Yeah. Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process, he doesn't become a monster.
C'est beau ce qu'il a dit.
Are you still talking about the doctor?
Good question.
So, what's the plan? We shove the letter and our theory in his face and see what happens?
Something like that, Marty. I think our presence will be enough for the truth to come out.
Ouais.
I really hope you're right, Boss Bird.
We have no other choice. So I hope so too.
Do you think it's a love triangle? I mean, could Natasha love Albert as well?
Good question, Marty. But I don't think so. When I first spoke to Natasha, she told me she loved Ibn in her own way.
In her own way, huh? And could she love two rats in her own way?
Maybe. Maybe she even suspected the truth, but didn't dare admit it, even to herself.
So, what do you think now that it's clearer?
Elle est toujours pas là, on l'a toujours pas retrouvée, hein.
I don't know, Marty, but I
Natasha,
believe Natasha didn't mean to be bad. Not
J'ai un
intentionally,
doute
at
sur elle
least.
quand même, hein.
I'm not as sure of that as you are,
Ouais,
boss.
pareil.
But we'll find that out pretty soon, I guess.
I think Natasha was very much aware that wherever she goes, disaster follows her. But it's not her fault, and she can't do anything about it.
Really? You don't say. Someone remarkably similar came to mind right now.
You mean me, right?
Who can even read minds?
Maybe you're right, Marty. Maybe you're right. Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Thanks, bu-
Lewis became kinda part of the team in the end, didn't he?
You mean Leopold?
Quoi?
Ah, damn it. Did I mess that up again?
No, I'm just joking. You said it right this time.
Huh. You know, if it weren't for the bunny, we never would have made it this far.
Moi j'avais des doutes sur lui. Hein.
We can't deny that even if we want to. We owe him a lot.
J'avais un doute quand même sur lui, hein, mais
You know,
ça s'avérait que non
We
en
can't
fait.
deny. Hey, Lewis. You weren't awake all night because of us, were you?
I've never been this excited, Sonny. Seriously, it is a great honor to be part of the team. What is it?
Mais il bégaye pas!
You, Lewis. You don't stutter anymore.
What?
Just now, you didn't stutter. Not even a little.
Oh, I must be exhausted. It happens sometimes.
And it's back.
So, thanks again, Lewis. You always get us out of trouble.
Come on, boys. Don't even mention it. It is me who is grateful to be a part of an adventure of the chicken police.
Avec le recul, parce que dans un épisode, je disais que c'était un peu forcé l'espèce de bégaiement qu'il avait, parce que je trouvais ça pas trop... Enfin, je trouvais que ça se moquait un petit peu. Enfin, c'était pas trop représentatif. Enfin, comme je disais, j'ai déjà croisé des gens qui bégayent, hein, et c'est pas marrant pour eux, franchement, j'ai déjà vu ce que ça pouvait être. Et... malheureusement, ça se foutait de sa gueule, cette personne qui bégaye, et je vous jure, quand je voyais ça, en vrai... ça rend malheureux, hein, un mec qui bégaye. Je sais pas du tout à quoi c'est dû un bégaiement. Moi personnellement, ça peut m'arriver, ça m'arrive de temps en temps. Pas tout le temps, mais de certains moments, surtout quand je suis... En fait, moi ça m'arrive surtout quand je suis énervé ou quand je suis stressé. Et c'est assez particulier, je vous jure, par moments ça surprend. J'en ai pas un si prononcé que ça, mais comparé à la personne que j'avais vue quand j'étais plus jeune, ça fait bizarre quoi, et c'est pas marrant pour lui.
Maybe the last one.
Je sais pas comment ça se passe exactement avec cette personne qui bégaye. Comment ça se passe dans la vraie vie, tout ça, parce que c'est un handicap, hein. C'est un handicap, hein. Je pense que c'en est un. Si je me trompe sur le bégaiement, dites-le moi en commentaire pour ceux qui regardent la Rediff YouTube. Comme quoi après, hein, on sait pas tout, hein, mais voilà, quoi, pour moi c'en est
Hey,
un.
Sonny. Don't spoil his mood. He's so cute.
Pardon?
Nothing. Nothing.
So, you're going now to confront Mr. Whistler?
We have no other choice, Lewis. We're gonna see it through to the end. We've already come this far.
You're brave, gentlemen. I'm honestly impressed.
Well, the rabbit's onto something.
This isn't about money. Not about courage or pride either. It's simply...
Stubbornness.
mostly, yeah.
Well,
Thanks, Lewis.
Ouais.
We could use some luck, that's for sure.
Albert et IBN Whistler se foutent pousser à la place de se trouver à attendre de régler les derniers détails. Si on l'attrape pas maintenant, il sera peut-être trop tard. Je l'avais dit, hein. Y'a quoi sur lui là? Bah écoutez, on va aller au hot dog vite fait.
Ah, you know, Sonny, few places are as cozy as the hot dog at dawn.
You have a point.
The silence, the fog, the sunshine slowly devouring the sleeping city.
The smell.
Yeah, the Cobbler district has its own distinctive aroma, that's for sure. But wait, do you smell that?
Ah, it seems Zip is ready with the first batch of coffee.
That's waiting only for us, my friend.
La mouche elle est plus là.
Well, he's out. He's brave indeed. Or an idiot.
They're often the same, Marty, and you should know.
Y a plus la mouche.
Does it still work?
Who knows? Maybe Zip's keeping it for decoration, or living in it.
I can easily imagine. Poor bastard. Roachtown stirring.
Thank the gods we're not going to be here when it's fully awake.
I think the buzzing of the hive has its own charm, you know?
Yeah, from afar, on a postcard maybe. But for real? Oh, thanks but no thanks.
Bon bah écoutez. Hop. Bah c'est la fin de cet épisode. On va certainement aller sur la fin. Hein. Ah quoique il manque quelques petites cinématiques. Je crois qu'il y a 5 chapitres en tout. Mais là, de toute façon je m'en doutais qu'il y a eu un truc. Avant qu'il le dise, je m'en doutais qu'ils ont changé de place. Les deux frères là. C'était sûr. Et puis lui par contre qui est à l'asile, c'est surprenant. Ça c'était surprenant. Mais non franchement là dans cette histoire puis les personnages franchement il y a des personnages super bien. Mais franchement déjà Bubo il est génial. Mais le docteur était génial hein. Le docteur était génial. Alors, histoire des inspecteurs poulets, chasseurs de... Ouais, c'est Marble qui... Ouais, voilà. Un gang de rongeurs meurtriers apparaît dans le district de Ratwell et commence à éradiquer les félins locaux de manière systématique. Ils sont brutaux. Ah non, c'est pas celui-là que j'ai eu. C'est lequel? Celui-là, je crois, ouais. Histoire des inspecteurs pour une poignée de gaufres. Un débutant débarque en ville, un chat détective féroce et ambitieux devient l'équipier de substitution de Sonny, tant que Marty est en congé. Leur première affaire ensemble est d'emblée un double meurtre où étrangement le nouveau détective est impliqué personnellement. Est-ce qu'une simple coïncidence et comment la nouvelle fabrique de gaufres force des produits se répandent partout en ville entre telle en scène. Vous le découvrirez dans la nouvelle histoire des inspecteurs poulets, un invité spécial, l'inspecteur Waffle. Franchement, l'histoire, elle est cool, hein. Bon, là, le truc, c'était assez prévisible sur le coup. Bon, après, il y a aussi les pièces du puzzle hein, qui ont joué. Hein. Bon, il y a eu des spéculations où j'ai eu faux. Je pensais que le bracelet, c'était un truc de prison, mais en fait, non, c'était un truc d'asile. De toute façon, mais là, on va approcher de la fin, vu ce qui se passe. Dans le prochain épisode, on va faire un tour dans les différents lieux, là, les lieux libres. Le hot dog, on va aller voir le père Castor aussi là. Et on va revoir Bubo aussi. L'asile, c'était génial. J'ai adoré l'ambiance de l'asile. Le docteur Quetzal, il est génial. Le personnage est trop bien, franchement. Et franchement, c'est là pour le moment. Le jeu est pas décevant. C'est la première fois que je fais ce genre, un genre visual novel. C'est très drôle en plus, c'est très marrant. On verra bien ce qui va se passer dans le prochain épisode. Je sais pas quand il va sortir. Pour le moment, peut-être vendredi. Parce que je travaille pas, ou un jour au soir. Mais bon, nous verrons bien. Sur ce, je vous dis à très bientôt. Une bonne soirée, une bonne nuit pour ceux qui sont passés sur le stream. Moi, je vous dis à bientôt. Et pour ceux qui ont regardé la rediff YouTube, je vous en remercie. Sur ce, je vous dis à très bientôt. À bientôt pour le prochain épisode qui sera peut-être le dernier. Peut-être. Il sera peut-être un peu plus long que prévu le prochain. Mais moi, je vous dis à bientôt. Salut à tous.